City Council to order, roll call.
Mrs. Bastelli? Here. Mr. Colon?
Here.
Mr. Sirianni?
Yes.
Dr. Selly? Here. Mrs. Billings?
Here.
I hereby certify this meeting has been published in the newspapers in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act and post is required by law.
Thank you. First thing, Director Roebuck regarding discussion read the ordinance revision on Woolley and Hollywood Avenue. And then you can roll right into your 7.2 more seconds.
Roll right into the handicap. Remember going back to March, I think of this year, we floated the idea of taking away some parking restrictions in the overall section of town, and wanted to get some input by everyone. Before we did it, we put it out on Facebook and the city website and everything, and the input was pretty overwhelming no. So the only ones that we ended up with that they wanted removed were Woolley and Hollywood. So those are the ones that we came up with. The people wanted it removed so that they can park there, and we're in agreement. And Woolley Avenue was before they redid the school. I guess everyone used to park there, and that avenue was really not an issue anymore. And Hollywood Avenue, we don't have any students over there anymore, so they don't park their cars. That's all we have for that.
So the ordinance on for the next meeting?
Yes. Or I don't know if we don't have them.
Next meeting.
Next meeting. And handicap parking space is just a removal. We had a handicap space out there. The guy no longer lives there, so his son owns the house next to it.
That's the Morris Avenue.
That's the Morris Avenue.
Okay. Okay, this time I'd like to introduce you to Travis Alderson, and he's representing the company that's going to be doing our HVAC program, or project, that's a better word, I guess.
Yeah.
You can see they're very excited about it, as you can tell by the beautiful climate conditions here
Yeah, it's a
now.
little bit muggy in here. All right, good evening. I'm Travis Alderson from Alderson Engineering. Our company is a mechanical and electrical engineering firm. We were commissioned originally to do a study of the existing HVAC system for this building. So we met with some of the facilities and staff here to get an idea of some of the problems that the building faces. We did on-site surveying to assess the condition of the existing systems. We generated a report with some recommendations with multiple options for systems that could replace the systems that you have here that will give you energy savings, also considering construction cost, phasing, and comfort and controllability for this building. We've come to the conclusion that we feel a VRF system, which is a type of HVAC system, is appropriate for this building. And made a recommendation that that system be installed and that the project move forward as the most economical option for this building. So in layman's terms, the VRF system is very similar to what most people have in a single-family residence, where you have a condensing unit that would sit on grade, and you have a HVAC unit that blows cold air inside of your home. What makes it a little bit different is on a commercial scale, you could have one outdoor unit and then have multiple indoor pieces of equipment, which would provide really good zoning and temperature control. So each individual office could have their own thermostat. Like this room could be controlled differently than a different conference room, different than the lobby. So it really enables each individual space to have really finite temperature control. The system itself is really good for renovations because it can be installed in a phased manner. Compared to what you have here, you have a large central plant, so you have a large chiller, a large cooling tower, and boilers. Or if any one of those components fails, and they are failing, the whole building goes offline. So we're proposing the VRF system because we can build the system out in phases and slowly convert portions of the building without having to take the existing system offline. That enables the building to be occupied, and it still will be a little bit of a dance to do the construction and keep the building occupied. But because we know this is an occupied building, that's part of the reason that we're selecting that system.
And we have these type of boxes, I gather, for the cooling. This is going to be called for ductwork being put in, or roof?
The VRF system has multiple options. So they make equipment that could be one for one, like that. So instead of using chilled water and hot water like you do now, we use refrigerant. So it's like a heat pump like you would have in your residence. But in terms of styles of indoor equipment, they make ducted equipment, they make ductless equipment. You may be familiar seeing like a wall unit, a wall hung unit that you would see in a renovation project maybe. We may choose to use some ductless wall hung units in small offices that have plaster ceilings and no opportunity for ductwork and no opportunity to use a console because it would cause impediment to furniture. So it gives us flexibility. There's a lot of different styles of indoor
We
equipment.
won't see ductwork going up the side of the wall.
Absolutely not.
I think that's what.
No, there's some units that would go in the ceiling like this that are 2x2. So you may opt to end up instead of, you may want to remove those. So we haven't really decided the exact style for every single space.
Cosmetic.
There's going to be.
We'll play into it. We won't look like we.
No.
Like, oops, let's put some.
No, absolutely
No,
not.
we're not going to be hanging ductwork.
It's not going to. It won't look to the extent of like a Band-Aid, and the performance of the system is phenomenal. I mean, the temperature and humidity control is really good. The system, they call it VRF. The V stands for variable, so it's variable speed. So it doesn't just come on and off. It'll adjust the fan speed and the compressor speed down to like 5%, and it does a really good temperature control because of that.
What's the life expectancy of that unit?
Roughly 20 years.
And then it comes with some sort of, what's the warranty on it?
General warranty from the equipment side from the manufacturer is 5 years for equipment.
And then there's an extended warranty program?
To be discussed. I think that you can certainly, in the bid package, ask for additional warranty. It costs money, and it's an analysis of, do we want to pay for extended warranties. So we can do that for both the laborers, or most times the construction comes with a 1 year labor warranty for a project, and then the equipment is a 5-year warranty.
How does the durability compare with this existing system?
It will be more durable than what you have and much less maintenance. Yeah, so if you think about the maintenance of this system, it's filter changes. You think of like kind of what you do in your own home to maintain equipment. It's fairly set it and forget it compared to a water-cooled system that you have here is chillers that require annual cleaning, boilers that require annual cleaning, cooling towers that require annual service. You have water treatment issues now. So from reducing the burden on facilities to take care of the system, it would be a huge reduction.
But it's as durable?
Yes. Yep.
How about in terms of like energy savings?
It will be probably off the cuff compared to what you have. Probably use maybe 50%, 40 to 50% of the energy consumption of what you have now. What you have now is old, so it's really inefficient. You could do a one-for-one replacement with a water-cooled chiller, which is also can be done very efficiently, but it's also a very high first cost compared to the VRF system. So
if we were replacing what we had, we'd be spending almost as much as the variable.
yeah, you'd be spending almost as much for the VRF system.
We'd have a substandard system.
And you'd be stuck with a lot of the same issues.
How old is the system we currently have?
Original.
Yeah.
1976.
It's over 30 years. So what year was the building built?
1770.
Since
George Washington sat
Yeah,
right
so
there.
40-some years. So you're exceeding the life expectancy
So old, I was here pretty
of
old.
the equipment. Part of the challenge is that a lot of the piping, the insulation is failing, so it's caused deterioration of piping. There's other projects where you have opportunities to replace a piece of equipment like the chiller that's in the basement or the cooling tower or boiler, but the piping is in good condition. In this situation, the piping is in a pretty, it is in a state of disrepair.
So Travis, you're a consultant and a vendor as well?
No.
Oh, you're just a consultant?
Yeah, we're just an engineering firm. We do not represent any particular manufacturers.
Oh, I see.
Our expectation would be that this project would be publicly bid, and we would have multiple manufacturers for every type of equipment that we're specifying. And that way we would get the best competition.
And then you would stay on and oversee the project?
Yeah, the expectation is that we do kind of done partially of a schematic, have a concept, but do construction drawings, issue those to get permitting and bidding to contractors, assist with bid analysis, and then do construction administration, which is manage construction meetings, on-site observation, reviewing contractor payment applications, punch lists, stuff like that. Yeah, so we would stay on the project until completion. We do a final punch list and close it out and sign off.
Now, why don't you just give a little of your background as to the projects you guys have worked on?
Sure.
I mean, I don't know if councils, we're aware of it, it's pretty impressive, so.
Okay. So our firm, my father started our firm in 1991, so we're 25 years last year. Our projects range anywhere from small retail projects to million-plus square foot complex high-rise projects throughout New Jersey and Pennsylvania. We've done multiple municipal buildings. We do a lot of healthcare work, K through 12, libraries. You kind of name it. We do the design of mechanical, electrical, plumbing, fire protection systems. Our client base is largely architects. Sometimes we work for municipalities, sometimes we do work for contractors. So we kind of have a little bit of a ranging client base, but certainly we have a diverse project portfolio. And this project is absolutely within our capability. I think that we would excel at understanding a phased project and occupied phased project. So that really is where the complexity of and some of the cost is going to be incurred on this project. That's it. So it looks cool.
So say if the rate roll.
Yeah, so we do a lot of skilled nursing facilities in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, and they're almost always occupied for doing renovation projects. So that's a skill set that we have and understand the sensitive nature of designing, knowing that what has to be constructed has to be installed in an occupied building.
If you move
How
forward.
long do you think it'll take from the beginning to the end?
Beginning of design to end of construction. If we were to start design and get authorized, some point this summer, expectation is that you don't get under construction probably until September of 17, sometime around then. Yeah, so
How long
it's,
do you think it'll take? 18 months?
no, probably 6 months
Oh,
to construct.
So a year to figure out what we need.
No,
design
but
it.
it's not to figure out what we need. It's a period to design it, a period to advertise the bid, a
Okay.
period to award the bid, a period for shop drawings. All this equipment, it has procurement time.
Basically, you've looked and know what we need.
Yeah, so there, so if you were really to start now, it's still, there's just a process before you're actually under construction.
You designed the specs and the bid packet, you did that?
Yeah, so we put together, called book spec, which is, a written specification. And then we also put together a set of drawings that go along with it, which is what we do every day.
Okay.
That we do plans and specs for all different types of buildings.
And then what they'll do is when the bid specs go out and bidding takes place, they'll help determine the lowest qualified bidder
Yeah.
and work with us to get that delineation. There are guys, and will always be our guys, and will not just set foot on the other side of the table. Because that would be a conflict if they design the specs and then bid on the same specs that they designed. Bidding laws say, no.
Yeah, so throughout the duration of the project, we represent your interest, we work for you. What we do is make sure that the contractor is giving you everything that you've paid for and installing everything per the specification, making sure that you're not going to have any issues down the road. There's no shortcuts being taken. But yeah, during the bidding process and after the bids are received, our intention is to meet with the pre-qualified bidders, de-scope them, make sure everyone is understanding the project. We'll do a bid analysis and then make a recommendation as a group for which firm should be awarded the project.
Any more questions?
Very happy.
Thank you, Travis, for your time. We
Okay.
appreciate it. We look forward to working with you.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, you guys need me for anything else? Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Just need a proposal from you, so when we get the bond ordinance passed, we can get going.
Good. All right, thank you, everybody.
Thanks for coming down, we appreciate it.
No problem, my pleasure.
Okay, next we have the appointment of Director of Finance and Director of Health, Mr. Woolley.
You'd just be getting a letter on those. We haven't done that in a lengthy period of time, so the statute calls for the mayor to appoint with your advice and consent, so we'll get you a letter for that for next week. Obviously, it would be Michael for finance and Sidney Johnson for health. Sidney started yesterday. And so far, it's been working with a lot of people and interfacing well, and we're optimistic that he will do an outstanding job.
How many hours? 20?
28. And he's not here tonight, but he started yesterday. I'll bring him up in 2 weeks. For those of you who don't know, how do you do?
Okay,
That's that story.
thank you. Review the regular meeting agenda. Anyone have any questions on the regular meeting? Michael?
No.
John? Joy? Okay, no? Okay, I need a motion to close.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I need a motion to adopt a resolution to go into executive session for the following items: litigation, Long Branch Partners, contract negotiations, The Bluffs, and Tyler 9, and a personnel matter regarding the police department director.